Welcome to the Creative Content Club podcast with me, Naomi Rose. If you are a business owner who wants to consistently create content that connects and converts into clients, this is the podcast for you. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let's get right into it. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you are listening into the podcast. This is the Creative Content Club podcast. I'm your host, Naomi Rose, and I am a lover of all things content. And today I'm going to be talking to you about something I get asked quite a lot, and it's called the secrets to posting in the right places. I often get asked, where is the best place to get visible to find my ideal clients? What content do I need to share on my social medias to find the right people that will buy from me? And my answer is always wherever your ideal clients are. So many business owners, and social media is a bit of it feels like it is a quick fix, an easy win because it's there, it's free, everyone's on it, right? But actually, if your clients aren't there, don't do it. It's really that simple. And if it's something you don't enjoy doing, then don't do it. But if your ideal clients are there, get someone else to do it for you. It's really about being a bit more strategic about what we share, because we can market, we could do marketing 24/7 and still have a long to-do list. There is endless amounts of things you can do. But as business owners, we don't have endless amounts of time. We have to be really smart and strategic about how we use our time. And we have to, when it comes to content, we have to put things in the places that are going to get visibility in the best ways possible, reach the ideal clients that we actually want to work with, and create more sales. That's what it's about. It's really about being smart about what we do without reinventing the wheel, making it hard for ourselves, and trying to post everything everywhere. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to figure out where the right places to post or share your content is for your business and your ideal clients. So I already alluded to this, but it's more than social media. Social media feels like the easy win, right? Let me go back to before the age of social media. That sounds really old. Marketing always had a budget. We always had to do some form of advertising, co-promotion, collaboration. We had to really think about where our audiences would be and how we can utilize those. Then social media came along and it was free, and it seemed like the easy win because we could reach people quickly. And things then over the last 20 odd years or so have changed. And so many people don't realize they need a budget for marketing. You don't need a massive budget, but you still need a budget. Your ideal clients might not be on social media, and it's so much more than that. It's so much more actually just putting something on Instagram and hoping for the best. Yes, that can work for some people, and it can work really, really brilliantly. We have to be smarter about where we share our content. We have to be really clear about who our ideal clients are, the types of media they consume, and how we can get in front of them. So let me take this example of when I owned the cafe, bar and bakery. And I had ideal client personas. So I actually created names of people that were going to be coming into my cafe, because there were different types of people that I knew I would attract. They all had the same values. So they all had this same thread running through them, but they had different ways of finding out about stuff. So I used to have what I called the retired couple, and they would come in, they would read the Sunday papers, they would probably have a bit of a snooze, they normally would have a coffee, a flapjack or a cup of tea, and they would sit there for about an hour after doing a bit of shopping on a weekend. That would be a retired couple. They would pay in cash. People that pay in cash are usually people that don't necessarily scroll social media to find out what's going on. I'm totally stereotyping a little bit here, but I knew they weren't on social media a lot of the time. They phoned up to book. They didn't book online to reserve a table. They had different values. They value different things, and they would read local papers. They would read the local magazine. They would listen to the local radio. They would talk to local WIs or the local bowls club or wherever they would be. So I had to get in front of them in those places by sponsoring events, going on local radio, speaking to local journalists and getting coverage in the local paper, advertising and working with editors of the local magazines, because that's where they would be. Even leaflet drops in the local town to the right houses, they would be really effective, because actually when you reach those people and they tried it, they would tell other people. So the word of mouth marketing would be really effective. They wouldn't have seen me on Facebook. I couldn't rely on just Facebook for them. And they brought in a huge amount of income for my business. We have to sometimes really think about, where are my ideal clients going to be seeing me? What are they going to be reading? What are they going to be doing? What does their average weekend look like? And where can I really make sure I am showing up in those right places? Lots of big brands do this. Like, you have a look around, you go and observe what other people are doing. It's really fascinating and really insightful to think about how that affects your business. So let's talk a little bit now about how to figure out what the right places are for you. There's 4 ways you can actually kind of approach this. First way is to talk to your clients, talk to your existing clients who already work for you, and ask where they found you. Where do they spend time? What are they reading? Where do they go to look for help? Ask all these questions to them, because then we can start to dig into really understanding their behaviours. If they are stuck on something, they would probably go to Google, AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, whichever channels they use. But they might go to a Facebook group. They might go to their local community group. They might go to a WhatsApp group. When we start to understand the kind of behaviours and where people are, we can start to really think, well, how do I reach those people in those areas? The second way is to, my favourite way, dig into your own data. Have a look what's going on. See which bits of content, whether that be an email, blog, podcast, social media channels, wherever you're putting things and sharing stuff, have a look at the numbers, because numbers don't lie. It's a glaring truth that sometimes we don't like to face. But the numbers will give us information. Information gives us power that we can then grow on. So if we have a look at data and realise that actually we've been posting on Facebook and we're getting 0, but actually LinkedIn's been doing okay, focus your efforts there. Really think about where you can actually use the content in the best places that are really working for you. Test and learn. Third way, you're only ever going to learn by trying stuff. There is no hard and fast rules to actually figuring out what works, other than sometimes just trying it and see what works. When I had the cafe and bar, I opened the bar on a Thursday night for an entire year to see if people would actually come out for a drink on a Thursday night. Turns out I was completely wrong, but I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't have done that. It's the same with your marketing. Sometimes we have to try new things, new platforms, and don't just give it a couple of weeks and give up. It needs to be probably between 1 and 3 months to see if it's really working, because people don't see everything straight away. Information takes time to build. So try, test and learn. Take the information, go back to digging in your data and see what's working. And then the fourth way is, once you've figured out what is actually being effective, double down on what works. Because sometimes it's not just about posting in our own little bubble. Sometimes we have to go follow people that our ideal clients would follow as well, and start engaging with them, as in the people that our ideal clients follow more, commenting on their posts, going to their events, showing up live, because that really works. You are in a room of people that might be following someone. You might be a better fit for them. You might be a bit more affordable for them, whatever that might be. But I see it happen so often where people are engaging with their peers and who the people they look up to as well. People find them that way. It's so important not to really limit your ideas of what you can do, because there's so much variety, but what you don't want to do is be everywhere and do nothing. So let's double down on what's working and using all of those. With content, and this is another thing I hear, because there are so many, like I said, you could do marketing 24/7 and still not get it all done. It's overwhelming. I've heard that more than once this week. Marketing is totally overwhelming sometimes, particularly if you're churning out the social. I'm going to give you a news flash here. Content should be boring. It should be. It can be creative, but ultimately you've got to say the same thing over and over and over again. The difference is you need to tweak it depending on where you're posting sometimes or where you're sharing. But you can create one really great bit of content for an entire week or even a month. Use that, tweaking it slightly in different places, using it in different ways. So you're not reinventing the wheel. You're being consistent, and repetition builds reputation. So what people need to see is consistency. They don't see everything. They see a small subset of what you share. So sharing it in several different places really doesn't matter. It's tweaking it so it's the right format for the place you're sharing it in. Like, you wouldn't put an advert in a magazine out on Facebook. It wouldn't work. So it's really thinking about what I can do and what I can share that is the same messaging, kind of in the right context. So think about the context that you're on. This is not making life onerous for you. It's actually making it easy, because you're taking one thing and creating a few different versions that are suitable for the right channels, because actually that will resonate better. You can put something in an email that goes onto a blog, that goes onto a podcast. You will see, if you look at all of my various content through my blog, my emails, my socials, this podcast, I do things that are very repetitive. I use themes. I talk about similar things in different ways across multiple platforms, but it works. And just because you said it once and people might read it more than once, that's fine, because they then know what you're talking about. So when it comes to being in the right places, it's not about being everywhere. We don't have the time capacity. I certainly don't. So I'm pretty sure you won't either. It's about really being strategic about where you get visible. So if you know that speaking at events is somewhere that your ideal clients might be, or networking at events, focus your efforts there. This is all content related, believe it or not, because your messaging and how you share yourself is all really building that visibility. So if you know going and meeting people is the best strategy for your business, focus on that. If you think that being at events and having a stand and exhibiting at events is going to help you get more clients, do that. If you're not sure and you think it might be good, try it. Give it a go. See what happens. Same with networking. Try it. Give it a go. Although I will say with networking, it takes more than one time of going to a networking event to really start building that reputation. You can't turn up once. If it's the right event for you, of course, go back more than once. Become known for being there. And I have done that. I have made so many great connections through the right networking events. You have to find ones that are right for you. And I've also recommended them to people as well, because they are really, really good. Found people that not only have I worked with, but they've worked with me as well. So it's a really good way to sometimes build that network, and don't go in with that kind of attitude of I've got to make sales. When it comes to, and this is actually true a lot of content, yes, you have to share the sales. You have to share the sales posts. You have to do your lead generation, go and speak to people, ask for the sale. A lot of what you're doing with content is building your credibility, getting people to know you, really building that connection. I always say, if you, again, and comes back to being in the right places for your ideal clients. It's like if a tree fall down in a woods and no one's there, can you hear it? It's the same with your content. Don't go posting on LinkedIn if your clients aren't there. Don't waste your efforts on Instagram if your clients aren't there. Don't spend hours on TikTok creating amazing little TikTok videos if your clients aren't there. Or if people are there, they might be there. They might be people that follow you, engage with you, and like with you. But if they're not going to become paying clients, you are costing your business money. So this is why we have to really think strategically. And I would much, much rather you choose one place that your ideal clients are and do that one thing than try and do everything. Because when you're really, really visible and the expert in the room in one place for what you do, people will find out more about you. They will know you. They will start to talk about you, and you will become front of mind when they need something. So when you start to really get visible in the right places, your engagement goes up, your audience grows, and those ideal clients that you're trying to reach start coming to you. At the beginning, if you're in the early years of your business, and I am saying years because it can take that long, you have to get out and do a lot of the legwork yourself. You have to do the outreach, and you're going to make your life so much easier by being in the right places. And also thinking about, it's not just what you post on your own channels. And again, go back to the tree in the woods examples. Just because you put a website up, just because you have a social media page, people aren't going to stumble across you. You have to go out and find the people and go to where they are. Don't expect them to find you and come to you, because they've got no incentive to do that at the moment. So you have to go out and get them. So be really smart, really strategic, think really about the behaviors, the media that your ideal clients consume. Ask your clients and start being in those places. And like I say, if they're not on social, don't do social. Don't waste your time. Do adverts. Go into your local papers. Do national press. Whatever the right medium is for you to find your ideal clients. If it's like, for instance, podcasting, like go and do a podcast and focus your efforts there and really dedicate your time to growing your audience in that way, because that will really help. Don't do everything, but do one thing really, really, really well in the place that your ideal clients are. Test it, learn about it, look at the data, and use it strategically to keep moving your business forward. And if it doesn't work, bin it. Simple as that. We're being smart. Smart content planning built on repetition that will help us get visibility in the right places. That's it for today's episode. I hope you found that useful. And I kind of joke saying, like, go where your clients are. It sounds so simple when you say it out loud. I do not underestimate how hard it can be to find those people, particularly if marketing isn't your natural go-to and it's not your expertise. I am here to help you with that. If that is something you really struggle with, there is my membership, which you can come and join. It's a bargain at £27 a month, and you get content planning, you get workshops, you get co-working. We do outreach sessions where we can send out messages to our ideal clients. There's a community group as well where you can ask questions. It's a really lovely, supportive group of people there. But I also do work one-to-one. I work with people one-to-one mostly intensively. So we'll do audit planning and implementation sessions that can really help dive into all these details and figure out where your ideal clients are and start creating a content plan that is really smart, really easy to use and repetitive, so it makes your life easier. Okay, have a wonderful rest of your day and week, and I will speak to you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Creative Content Club podcast with me, Naomi Rose. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this podcast a review. If this episode gave you clarity or sparked a new idea, I'd really appreciate it if you could share it with someone else who would find it useful. If you haven't already, give me a follow on Instagram and come and connect with me on LinkedIn. And finally, don't forget to check out the show notes to take my quiz to find out exactly why your content isn't converting into clients. Thanks again for listening, and I'll be back again next week with another episode.